What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, coming at you live with the West Ham Fan TV Live and Uncut shows. A show we like to do a couple of times a week, just to sort of chat about things that are going on at West Ham. And as always, I'm with my old mate Ryan. Ryan, how you doing, mate?
Hello, Mr. Hawkins. How are you doing on this fine sunny day?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm hot. I'm sweaty.
I'm warm. You nearly got me with my shirt off earlier. I just had to pop a shirt on quickly. I've been sitting in the garden all day. Comments coming in already. Thank you to everyone that's joined the live chat. Tell you, there's not much to talk about since we went on Monday, but one thing we do have to talk about is Pedro Obiang departing.
Yeah, he went to Sassuolo. Is it an Italian team?
Sassuolo.
Yeah. Look, it was obvious he was going to leave the club. He wanted to leave the club, but what a true professional that he wanted to leave in January, I believe. But he just said, "Look, can you stay on till the summer?" And he hasn't kicked up a fuss. He's been doing pre-season training. He played in a couple of pre-season games, but maybe it was time to go. And whether we got enough for him, what was it, 7.5 million? Do you think that's enough?
Yeah, to be honest, mate, we paid 4 million for him, and I don't know. Is it enough in today's market? I'm not quite sure about that, but the fact that we've had him for a few years, we probably had the best of him. And to be fair, like, I've never been a massive Obiang fan. He was probably our best midfielder for about 6 months at one point, but that was about it. That's all about. That's about, you know, his West Ham career summed up. He never quite broke into the team where he became a person that was like a mainstay in the team. He was always floating around the team, and for the last sort of year or so, he's been a nothing person. You know what I mean? He comes on, he makes no impact on the game. He does nothing decent. He's he breaks up the play. But he doesn't seem to do that well. He joins in the attack, but he doesn't seem to do that well. Amos Chat just made a good point. He's a jack of all trades, master of none. He just was nothing. So the fact that we've made a 3 million or £2.5 million profit on a player that possibly we've seen the best of in a West Ham shirt, I think it's okay. I think for a career of a guy like that, as you say, model professional. You know what I mean? You look at guys that have left the club over the last couple of years, the way they've left the club. You say January, I've heard he's been waiting to leave for 1.5 years, and we've refused him in every transfer window. So he got on with it, and I can't ask for much more, really. And I wish him all the best.
Yeah, me too. Like you said, he's been a great professional for us. If he did want to leave 1 year ago, he's stuck around. But at least he got more of a statement from the club than what Arnautovic did. And I think that just goes to show, like, when you're sort of a loyal player and you leave on good terms, you know, you're going to go with the club's best wishes. And yeah, I wish him luck. As you said, he was just a squad player in the end, wasn't he? He's been a squad player for the last year. He's never been someone that you'd put in your starting 11. But when he first signed for us, he was. I remember thinking that he could be someone that could break into our starting 11 because he could pass the ball. He was good when he first signed for us, but he just faded away. And look, he's got his move back to Italy now, and yeah, I wish him luck.
There is another outgoing, of course, Marcus Brown. Another one didn't quite make the grade for West Ham. Looks like he's going to join Middlesbrough on a permanent signing. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a good move?
Yeah, do you know what? I was a bit surprised with this one. I thought they might have sort of loaned him out for the rest of the season, but for 300 grand as well, it's not a lot of money, really, is it, for someone like Marcus Brown, who I think, you know, in the future could be worth a lot more than that. So Middlesbrough have got a good signing. He's going to a good club in Middlesbrough. That's why I thought we would have sort of loaned him out. So I'm a bit surprised we sold him on the cheap.
The only thing is, I think with these players, a lot of people sort of start to sort of begrudge the fees and all that sort of thing. We let Keena go for £1 million, didn't we? And people saying, well, that was a big mistake. He hasn't quite broke through at Watford. He's a very promising youngster. But if those sort of youngsters are not in your plans, if you're sitting there demanding, say for instance, Keena, we could have turned around and done like what Chelsea do or what Arsenal do, and turn around and say, although he's only played 15 games for us or whatever, or one game or for us or whatever, we want 15 million quid for him. And I think that's you don't want to price these kids out of the market, because if you start pricing them out of the market, they may never have a career. I think that's a fair thing to say.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's probably a bit down to same as Reece Oxford, really. But I think that Nathan Holland's been told he can go out on loan. Josh Cullen and Diagana have been told that they can stay and fight for the first team, or they can go out on loan. So I think you'd probably see them two go out on loan as well, because when they look at the fully fit West Ham squad, they're not going to get in the first team, probably not in the match day squad. So but I think Diagana, it might benefit him really going out on loan, maybe to a championship, or there was rumours that going to Rangers. I think it'd be good for him, give him a bit more experience, because I think he's got a good future at West Ham.
There's some questions coming in from the live chat. Again, guys, thank you very much for getting involved. We always love to read your comments. Victor Fenn makes a good point. How do you feel about the overreaction to losing pre-season friendly when a number of players are coming back from long-term injuries?
Yeah, look, I've said it many a time. Pre-season results, I don't really take no notice of them. Yeah, I want to win games, but for me, it's all about match fitness, finding your best starting 11, getting new players in to settle with a squad, meeting their new teammates, and it's all about fitness and getting players through that have been injured, giving them match fitness. So yeah, I don't really look at results, but look, as I said, you want to win every game, and it's disappointing when you lose, but we could lose all our pre-season games, but if we turn up and beat City on the first game of the season, who's going to remember the pre-season results?
That's correct, mate. Yeah, I always said that pre-season means nothing apart from fitness and all that sort of stuff. I know people, we all like to win every game. It's not, you don't go out to lose games. But if you lose them in pre-season, I'd rather lose them in pre-season than lose them during the season. That's what I would say. As long as we get things right. The thing is, mate, some patches of that we was playing great football, and other patches we looked like we was playing absolute nonsense football again. You know what I mean? So it's now time to, I've said this before, consistency is the key for West Ham, because that's what lets us down. On our day, we are world beaters. Even last year, when Anderson come in, at times we look like absolute world beaters, beating the Arsenal, beating, proper putting Man United to the sword in both games, beating them once, and unlucky to come away with Old Trafford, putting in performances at City and that. It's the ones against Cardiff and the Huddersfields and the points we're dropping there when we're going to like Wolves in midweek. And I'm not saying Wolves are a bad side, but just putting up a little bit more of a fight, we just sort of seem to concede a goal and then fold. That's what we've got to work on, and I think that's what he needs to drill back into the players.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you look at the start of last season when we lost our first 4 games. We lost to Bournemouth and Wolves at home, and Wolves are newly promoted teams. So they're the sort of games where we should be picking up points, but nothing's guaranteed in the Premier League. I mean, you can't just keep turning up against the big teams, and you've got to turn up against the sort of teams around us and the lesser teams. So we've got to be consistent. We've got to get off to a good start. Looking at the fixtures, we've got a good run in, to pick up some points early in the season, because if we go out and we don't pick up any points in the first 3 or 4 games, people are going to start questioning Pellegrini, and it's going to be the same situation. But looking at the squad and what we've got, I don't see why we can't start off well this season.
A lot of people saying they're betting money on me getting caught in a thunderstorm, get a brolly out. Listen, if it starts raining, mate, I'm off. You won't see me for dust. I'll press the stop button and I'll be gone. Your mate Nigel, Nicky, says we still have got no money. So what do you make of this, Ryan? Because all these sort of in the nose are saying about no money, no money, no money. Pellegrini apparently is still looking for players. Medell's been in. Have we got any money? Personally, I reckon we have. I reckon we've got a little bit. Not saying we've got hundreds of millions, but
no, I think there's money there. Obviously, Obiang left. You know, so I think there is a little bit of money there. As you said, it's not going to be loads, but it's going to be enough to maybe bring in another central midfielder or a striker. But I can see us getting a few loan deals in. So, look, as I said, if we bring in a couple of free transfers and a couple of loan deals, I think that'd be good. I think that'd be good for because we had a budget of 30 million. We've gone out and we spent a big chunk on Allow. You know, he's a record signing. So, and Fornals as well. So we've saved a lot on wages. So there's a lot of money there for wages. So if you look around the free transfers, I see we've been linked with Danny Welbeck today. And look, Danny Welbeck could be a good option. We know he's injury prone, but to bring him in alongside Sebastian Haller and Hernandez and Danny Welbeck wouldn't be a bad front three to call upon.
Yeah, I agree. Questions coming in. Opinions on the Haller deal, but we've covered that in about 20 videos. Take your laptop with you if you get caught in a storm. I can see history repeating itself. No, honestly, mate, I'll be gone. Laptop will be up. You see me running. Should we give Oxford a chance in the holding midfield? I think we've answered this, haven't we?
Yeah, I just think Oxford's sort of had his chance at West Ham. I don't know. I think I hear a lot of things behind the scenes about his attitude. He's got a really poor attitude. So if Pellegrini hasn't given him a chance in pre-season, I doubt he's going to sort of give him a chance in the Premier League. So it's a difficult one because he come like high hopes. Everyone was excited when he first broke into the first team, but it just hasn't worked out for him. And we've got a little bit of history in the last few years of youngsters that don't make it. You look at the likes of Elliot Lee, Poyet, who else? Who else we got? George Moncur, Dan Potts. There's loads of the players that haven't made the grade, and it just shows that you can play Championship football and League One, League Two, but the Premiership is a massive step up, and some players can't take to it.
Somebody's saying, wipe my webcam. I know there's a dead pixel there, but that's what it is. It's a dead pixel or a bit of dust inside. Look, I can't get rid of it. Would you lads rather win the Prem or the Champions League? That's a good question, but one that we're not really serious about answering, to be honest.
I'd win the Premier League all day long.
Yeah, same as me.
I'll win the Premier League and then win the Champions League the year after.
Michael Papper's made a good point. What about Jordan Hugill? He's still here. He doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I think he will leave the club. It'll be towards the end of the transfer window, and he'll probably end up with West Ham paying some of his wages to get him off the books. You know, it's a difficult one because he's never been given a chance. But I know he scored the other night, didn't he, for the under-23s, which was a great finish. But is he good enough for the first team at West Ham? You don't know because he's never been given a chance. But me personally,
honest, mate, I've seen some trash play for West Ham. He can't be worse than some of the players that we've fielded in first 11s before.
We give Midu a contract.
Yeah.
So if he can get a chance, and he's probably the worst striker I've ever seen play for West Ham. So yeah, it's a difficult one, but I can't see him breaking in the first team, and I think he will leave the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you be happy to finish in the same sort of position last season, but play better against the teams at the bottom of the league?
Well, if we play better against the teams against the bottom of the league, we wouldn't be in the same position. We'd sort of move up the table because that's what cost us points last year, losing against teams like that, losing badly as well. It weren't like we lost 1-0. We was going to places like Cardiff and getting torn apart. So yeah, we've got to improve on last season. So we finished 10th. So we should be aiming for that top 8, looking for Europa League football, because we talk about the next level. If we did clinch European football next season, that generates more money, and we can add to this squad now and you know, have a real go at the Europa League instead of losing to teams like Astra Gugu.
Absolutely. Apparently that video's popped reared its ugly head again this week. I think it's the anniversary of the Astra Gugu video. I think it's 3 years since the Astra Gugu. But
talking of anniversaries, I see on the West Ham website a little while ago that it's a year ago today that Anderson and Balbuena made their debuts for West Ham against Aston Villa away.
Oh, really?
So, so it's been a year. Let's talk. What'd you make of Anderson?
Yeah, impressed in parts. Not that sort of like off out the cinder blocks at the cinder block. I don't even know what that's a fucking saying. Off the block at the very start. I thought he sort of took a little bit of time, but there's been flashes of absolute quality. Like I can't lie. Frustration with him. Can look lazy at times. I know. Like Dom said, but I think he sort of started to take a more defensive role, halfway through the season. Which, to be honest, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know whether I want him doing that. I want someone at left back, which we'll probably talk about in a minute, that lets him have the freedom. Because going forward, at times he looked absolutely. He looked absolutely scintillating. Well, so what do you make of him?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm the same as you. He started off a bit slow, but you record signing, new into English football, always going to be tough. But look, the quality's there, and I think you're really going to see someone like Anderson shine this season when the pressure gets taken off him a bit. When Yarmolenko's back in the team and Jack Wilshere and Fornals and Lanzini, because there was a lot of pressure put on Anderson at times, and there was times where he'd try to break down the wing and they lose the ball and then they sort of jog back, and it was frustrating for the fans, and you don't want to see that. But look, I think he's a quality player, and I think this season is going to be a hell of a season for him.
That's the thing sometimes, isn't it? When you've only got one quality player, there's only a few in the world that can sort of do it by themselves. Now I think we've got 3 or 4 real quality players. Lanzini was out for a long time last year. You know what I mean? So we struggled in that sort of area of the pitch as well. So
Yarmolenko was out for all the season.
Yeah, Yarmolenko. Lanzini spent a long time on we didn't really have a sort of an attacking sort of midfielder to play alongside him. Some spectacular goals though. I mean, that one against Crystal Palace was absolute class. One against Huddersfield where we drew. Southampton. You know, some real good performances. But I think with additions of quality, I think he's going to be have a better season this year.
Yeah, and I think like looking at I just think he's going to link up well with Sebastian Haller. I really do. I think he's going to link up well with him. We was trying to pick the starting lineup yesterday in work, and we had about 10 different teams because you're leaving so many good players out of the team, and it's a good headache for Pellegrini to have, and it's a good headache for us fans to have because we're going to debate it: who should be starting, who shouldn't be starting. But look, if Pellegrini gets it right, he gets that attacking right, and we can just tighten up a bit at the back, then look, I think we can have a good season. I really do.
Would you sell Lanzini if we had to fund further player purchases? Says Lewis A.
Look, if a silly offer come in for him, then you'd probably have to look at it because Lanzini, as much as I like Lanzini, he's replaceable. There's other players out there that can come in. I think Pablo Fornals is going to be a replacement for Lanzini in the starting 11. I really do. And I like the look of him. Even just in the training videos yesterday, I know you can't take too much off of it, but it's just the quickness in his feet and he's always looking to go forward. And that's something we ain't had for a long time at West Ham, a player like him. So I'm really looking for it. Do you know who he reminds me of a little bit? He reminds me a little bit of Al Berkovic.
Yeah. He
reminds me of him, just that he's low to the floor, wants to take people on. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. I mean, I see someone say today that him, Haller, Balbuena and Masuaku are going to play against Fulham on Saturday. So that'd be good if they all come through, no injuries. We go to Hertha Berlin, probably get a run out there, and then obviously Atletico Bilbao at the London Stadium. They get their first taste of the London Stadium, and then they get ready for Man City at home, where they want to really impress us, the fans.
Stuart Tyler says, any thoughts on the gay footballer Twitter thing? Have you seen anything about this? Because I haven't.
Yeah, there was I've seen saying there was a gay football player who set up a Twitter account that he was going to reveal who he was, and he'd gone through the clubs, and but it turned out, I think, to be a bit of a hoax, and the account's now been deleted. And yeah, it was it's not a good thing really, because that maybe would have opened the door for other players to come out and say that they're gay and had the confidence to do it. But now, you know, it's just taking 2 steps back. But yeah, it's
I'll be
a
honest,
shame.
mate, I think in 2019 now, a lot of people would know my brother's homosexual. He's gay, you know, and you know, he's been out for many, many, many years, and you know, it's never affected, as far as I know, it's never affected anyone's view of him. He's still the same person. So I find it a little bit baffling in 2019 that that you know, someone would feel like they've got to sort of hide that sexuality from people, because you know, it's not right. The world is changing. It's a lot different world than it was, you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, whatever it was. And the fact that somebody says that they think feels like they have to hide and they have to sort of like make this big reveal of it, I find it, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. As you said, it's 2019 now. You know, you shouldn't be afraid to admit, like, if you're gay or whatever. You know, you should be proud of it. And
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
no.
What difference does it make? It doesn't change people as people, you know. In my mind, anyway. Look, well said. Stuart Tice says, well said, lads. Not gay myself, but 2019 has shocked. Only Fashion Who has come out. Yeah, it's sad, really.
Yeah, I think a lot of players have come out after they retired. Thomas Hitzelberger was one that obviously played for West Ham, but they sort of come out after they retire because, look, I can imagine it would be difficult to sort of come out because look, football fans at times can be horrible. You know, they can say some nasty things, and you know, we've seen it a lot this season with racism and things like that. So maybe they obviously think it's easier just to hide it. And not only that, you don't know how some of your teammates are going to react. You know, we don't see that behind closed doors. So look, they shouldn't be afraid to admit that they're gay. They should be proud. And if they want to come out, like if any West Ham players come out and that they was gay, you know, they'd get my full support. It wouldn't bother me. You know, I don't care what they do. All I'll worry about is what they do on the pitch.
Yeah, Mark Sherburn Brown says, my daughter is gay. It was the best thing she did coming out. No shame, each to their own. Absolutely, absolutely. Did you hear me on Phoenix FM last night?
Yeah, I did, mate. I listened to it live. It was a good interview, mate. Good podcast.
I actually enjoyed that. I thought sitting down with them two guys was, I got a lot of stuff off my chest. I sort of talked quite candidly about a few things that we would have done different. And things like that. If you've got a chance, for the people in the chat, go and check it out. It's a great podcast. They you know, they run a good podcast over there, and it was an absolute pleasure to be on there. Go and check it out, the West Ham Way podcast over on Phoenix FM. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and got a lot of things off my chest.
Yeah, it was good, mate. It was nice. It's like you speaking, but I felt like you were speaking for me as well, because obviously we went through the same thing with the situations and that. But yeah, no, it was good. I've been on their podcast before, early doors. I think it was like their 50th show or something like that. So it was great. I love meeting up with them. And Kevin as well was there at the time. Obviously, he don't do the podcast no more, but Dave and X are great blokes. And yeah, it was good. It was a really good podcast, mate. I've said to Dave before, their podcast is usually what I listen to when I'm stuck on the A13 going to work on a Thursday morning. So I usually listen to it the morning after, the night before. So it's always good.
LFC Gamers in here saying, ha ha ha, West Ham think they are big in reality. Aston Villa is a bigger club than you. I don't know what sort of reality you're in, mate. Villa spending the money, yeah. They are a big club. We're all big clubs. Byram 700k, Marcus Brown 300k. Why do you think we're selling our young English players for such low fees? I think, as I said before, I think it's down to, you know, not getting a chance and making sure they go on to get careers. You know, you don't want to outprice these people. You don't want to outprice these people at the market because they can go on and do something. And if they're not going to do it at your club, you know.
Can I just say one thing referring the Aston Villa? Listen, Fulham spent 100 million last season and they were dog shit. So don't get too excited. Sometimes getting 9 or 10 players in will rock the squad and rock the boat. It don't always work out. But look, yeah, Aston Villa are a great club. And it's good to see them back in the Premiership because it's always a good away day. It's a great old stadium. So I'm looking forward to to go in there this season. Hopefully, we get the 3 points.
Are you boys going to the Bilbao game? I just see come up.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm not going Fulham this weekend. I've got stuff planned already, but yeah, I'll definitely be at the Bilbao game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting back to London Stadium, seeing a few old faces, couple of drinks. Yeah, looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, I think that's sort of like we've had a busy summer. You know, we've got me personally. I know me and Ryan have been sort of working hard, doing the, you know, producing these live shows, producing the content. We've added some new content strands, but we've been working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes that is sort of going to start tying the channel together. You know what I mean? And I am. It's not quite ready yet. Everything that I wanted to get ready, but it's very, very close, and hopefully sort of like the first week or two in the season, it will start to sort of thread itself together, and you'll see what we've been working on, and the things we've been working on is just production, making sure that everything's right, you know, quality of stuff. And I say quality of stuff as I've got a little dead pixel in my face here, but no, just stuff like that. Just you know, professionalism. We've got some lovely new sponges coming for the tops of the microphones.
Yeah, we're freshening it up a bit, going back to, you know, going back to the beginning. Especially, I've just seen someone's Michael Papa just asked his post-match pint next year every week. Yeah, it will be, and that's one thing we spoke about. That's one thing we missed doing is post-match pint, and hopefully we've got a new venue, which would be good. So, yeah.
Somebody asked us earlier, have we got West Ham tattoos? Yeah, we both got very similar ones in pretty much the same place. I think you got yours on your right leg. I got mine on my left, didn't I?
No, I've got mine on my left.
Oh, yours is on your left as well.
And
Yours a bit bigger than mine.
And I've got Marco Boogers on my back. When he chopped Gary Neville in half.
Yeah, we've both got the sort of badge that come out in '99, the one before the current one now. We both got them tattooed on there. Unfortunately, I had a bit of an accident last year, and there's like a hole in mine now, so I might have to get it touched up because I had I cut a bit of my leg on the shed, and I got an infection, and I got a massive, great big hole in it. So it all had to be cleaned out professionally and all that sort of stuff, you know.
Yeah, get a new one.
I might have to get it all touched up.
I've just see someone, West Ham United fan 71, just saying about what do we think about the new season tickets with the pictures on them.
I still ain't got mine.
No, I still ain't got mine yet, but I've seen, obviously, we're going to be in a Biddy Bond stand. I've seen people kicking off about it, like, because of the West Ham one, saying, like, oh, the design ain't great and all things like that. Listen, they've had a plain season ticket for how long now? They've put a picture. I think the West Ham one looks all right. It's an old school picture of the fans. They're obviously, the stand ain't named after anyone. So what are they worrying about?
I don't know what people do worry about, Ryan.
You only need your season ticket just to get in the game, and that's it. What are you worried what pictures on it for?
No, I don't understand it. Yeah, but I ain't got mine yet. Some people that live abroad have got theirs, and I live up the road from Stratford, and I ain't got mine. It's very disturbing.
Yeah. Well, mine obviously gets posted to my mum and dad's address, so I ain't been around there yet. So hopefully, when I go around there tomorrow, it'll be there. There'll be a nice little letter waiting for me.
Mark Sherburne Brown says the adult ones are great. The kids ones have a huge yellow stripe on it, not West Ham. Yeah, it's too many people try it on with them tickets, Mark. That's why, mate. Darren Clarkson says people want to moan about anything these days. Look, I like a moan. I'm not going to lie. I like a moan, but I'm not going to moan about that. Ruben Blosh, with all the silence over transfers, do you think we've got a few more to come? We sort of touched on this earlier.
Sorry, say that again, mate. It broke up there.
With all the silence over transfers, do you think we've got a few more to come?
I do. I think we're going to have a busy. Especially the last week of the transfer window. I think you're going to see probably about another 2 or 3 signings come in.
Paul Smith, have you seen the new stadium for Everton, boys? No, I haven't.
I've seen the images. It's on the dock side, isn't it? It's going to be a new 60,000 seater stadium. So they're looking to go places, in there, and try to sort of listen, they never rival Liverpool in their history, but you know, if they got a billionaire owner, new stadium, attract bigger players, they could, you know, start challenging them.
Mark Sherman Brown says, agreed, Nicky, that people do try it on, but why do kids not tickets? Why not do kids tickets in away colours or third kit, more like West Ham? That's a good point.
Or what if you're doing the kids? Why don't they put the mascots on now? Like the Bubble, what's his name? Hammerhead on Bubbles.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, just put a little image of the teddy bear or whatever it is on there. Yeah, good shout. That was the training ground work ever done or still to do? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're improving it, isn't they? I think there has been some work done this summer because they're redeveloping.
Relief or Rush Green?
Both of them. I think they're doing both of them, isn't they? So yeah, I haven't really seen many like sort of images and that, but you go on Instagram and you follow like Colton Cole and that, and they're obviously they work at Chadwell every day with the youngsters, so you see behind the scenes there, and it does look sort of impressive. And Rush Green as well. I know they was talking about spending about 5 to 10 million on it last year, so who knows? Within the next couple of years, we could have one of the best training complexes in the Premier League.
I think we're going to have to start wrapping this up because I can see the clouds coming over now. People are right. Anything else? I don't want to get caught in it. That's why. Anything else before we wrap up?
No, I mean, there's a lot of people talking about Jack Wilshere as well. Like, what do we think on Jack Wilshere this season? As long as he can stay fit, I've said it before, that you can't knock his talent. He's one of the most talented midfielders in the Premier League. So if we can keep him fit, he's going to create chances and he's going to be an important player for us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you. We're going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys for joining us on this live show. Once again, thank you for everyone that's coming in and contributed to the show. Thank you again for Ryan. Go and check out all our other content that it's been going up. There's more going up in the next couple of days. Yeah, that's it. One thing left to say, Ryan.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.